Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, today's just going to be kind of an update day a little bit. I've just got a couple things I want to share with you. First off, you may notice that I got my new microphone today. And so I'm going to let you guys kind of hear what the difference between that is. Right now I'm using the microphone on the camera, so you may hear that I sound like I'm a long ways away, and you're probably hearing some echo in the room like that. So that's what the old mic sounds like. That's what the mic on the camera sounds like. But now I'm going to switch to the other mic and let you hear that. So this is the new mic. Now I don't have to talk quite as loud to use this one because, like I said, the mic is right here, which is probably a good thing. You'll probably get a little less echo. You're probably going to notice that I don't sound like I'm a million miles away anymore. You're not hearing any of the echo. And it sounds a little closer. Now, I also think when I was playing with it a little bit last night that it doesn't quite have the high end maybe that we get with the other mic, but I think it is actually a superior little thing, and I'm going to continue using it. Now, I already know that there's going to be one mistake I'm going to make. This is a condenser mic, which means I have a little switch that I have to turn on to use it. And I know there's going to be more than one time where I'm going to forget to turn the mic on and I'm going to have no audio. So, hopefully I don't screw up too many scenes that way. Now, the nice thing about this is it recharges with a USB charger. So, I ought to be able to just keep it real charged, really easily charged. And the advantage is it's supposed to go for a very, very long time between charging. So maybe what I can do is just remember when I plug in the mic into the camera the first time, just turn it on. I can just leave it on for the whole day. Another thing I'm also going to have to get used to, it's got like a 30-foot long cable on this thing. So we're going to have to like wrap that thing up around, so I don't trip over it. But you know what? That's just one of the things we'll deal with. Additionally, it's kind of nice. The mic itself has two settings. Normal on setting, which you use if you're, just recording like inside or something like that. And then there's a high pass filter on it. High pass filter basically means it cuts the low end. So if, for instance, I'm outside and it's windy, you won't get that rumbling sound when the mic hits when the wind hits the mic. So I don't know. We're going to be playing around with this a little bit. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better to you. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. But I'm going to, experiment with it. Like I said, I've been reasonably happy with the results I've gotten so far. And, it's definitely an advantage that I don't have to yell as much to be heard by the camera. So that's a good thing. Now, one other thing, I also got my new video board for my computer. I told you the other day when I was fighting with the memory issue on the computer that I brought it in to a computer expert, and he suggested that the problem with my memory was literally that the memory I got wasn't compatible with the computer I had, and he recommended going to the manufacturer and getting the actual brand of memory that they had. He actually suggested going on Amazon and trying to find that, but I couldn't do that. But I ended up going to crucial.com and got memory from them, and it worked really well, and it's been a really noticeable improvement. Well, one of the other things he mentioned to me is that since I'm using just the basic video card that came with the computer that's right there on the motherboard, he said since I'm doing a lot of video content that it might benefit me to get a better video board, one with 2 gigabytes of onboard RAM. He says so that'll help with the processing. I'm also going to be using the PCI Express slot, which is a better interface to the computer than the cheap onboard video processor that came with it. I'm going to install that today. I'm not going to actually show that on the vlog because I've shown enough videos in the past week of me opening up that computer, and this is just going to be a real simple thing. You pull the cover off, you plug this thing in, you plug the monitor in, you turn it back on, you download the latest drivers, and you're good to go. So you can just kind of use your imagination on that. One other thing, I got a message from my mom last night. Apparently my father is going into a rehab facility for a short period of time, at least until they move into their senior assisted living home. One of the problems he's been running into when he has the fluid build up in his stomach is that it tends to accumulate in his legs. And so his legs get filled up with fluid, they get really puffy, and sometimes he just needs a little help getting them out. When he was in the hospital, they had these squeezer things on his legs that kept inflating and deflating to, hopefully squeeze the fluid out of his legs. Well, that is starting to be a little bit of an issue now, and so they want him to kind of go into the rehab facility and have him deal with that. And then I also got the request from my mom for me to come home sometime next month to kind of help with the move. They've decided they're going to actually have movers come in and do the bulk of the work, but she wants my sister and I to both come and visit sometime during the month so that they can figure out the things that my sister and I would like to keep, and so they can start figuring out what the estate sale is going to look like. So sometime in February, I'm going to go home again, hopefully for just a couple days this time, help them get acclimated in the new place, pick out the things that I'd like to keep. I'm a tool person, and my father has a pretty impressive tool collection himself, so I'd like to get some of those things, because he's not going to need really any of the high-end stuff. He's going to take basic things like screwdrivers and hammers and pliers and stuff like that, but he's got some power tools that would be nice to have, and some other things that I would kind of like to have. So my sister and I are going to kind of figure out what those family heirlooms that we want to keep, and keep in the family and that kind of stuff. And so that's what I'm going to be doing that. Now I've heard rumors, and I got to admit I haven't heard it in a few months, but you remember I was working at Silo of Screams back around Halloween and again at Christmas. And back at Halloween, they were talking about how they were going to do the Christmas, Tis the Slasher Season event that they were going to try for the first time. They also talked about doing a My Bloody Valentine's Day event. So I haven't heard anything yet whether they're going to do that, but I'm assuming that's still on track, and if possible, I'd still like to work on that. So, I kind of want to be around, around Valentine's Day this year, just because I'm sure that's when it's going to be. So I'm kind of keeping my ear open for that. But anyway, that's really what's going on in the world right now. I wanted to share that with you. Let me know what you think of the new mic, and we'll go from there. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.